Okay, so I did a class a couple of months ago on a website called AirDNA. And so this website is called MashVisor that I'm doing today. And MashVisor is going to be very similar to AirDNA. They both scrape data from Airbnb and VRBO. So that's MashVisor, MashVisor.com. The difference between MashVisor and AirDNA is that MashVisor is going to break down the finances from an investment standpoint a little more detailed. And they're really going to help you if you're trying to work out costs and a budget, break those numbers down a little more solidly. So it does require a monthly subscription. It's around $15 a month. I just signed up. You can do a 7-day free trial if you want to test it out. So I'm going to log in real quick. And the difference too with MashVisor and AirDNA is that MashVisor will let you pretty much pick any area and you can get detailed on it. AirDNA is going to have you pick a specific area to hunt. Okay. So I kind of like the idea of, all right, hold on, it's loading.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to start with a few quick questions. And let's see, how many investment properties do you currently own? We'll just say one. How do you manage them? I'm going to say I do it myself manually. And in general, who are your renters? We're going to say Airbnb guests. Let me close this door real quick. Okay, so have you guys had your eye on or been looking for investment properties in any specific area? We can just pick something if you want. Okay.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I think it's Atlanta, Georgia. They don't allow Airbnb. If you're going to rent something, it has to be at least longer than maybe 30 days or something like that. Just for your information.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry. What was that for a specific area, Joseph?
No, it was another state. It was Atlanta. So I don't know how long. Airbnb may have challenges with the states, but just to let you know, Airbnb, well, it's good if you're doing a short term, but long term, there might be some challenges with the state that you're in. Just for your
information. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, this would all come, of course, with the disclaimer that you have to do your research on the Airbnb rules for each area. So Cindy's been looking at a specific area. I'm going to pull that area up right now. What was that?
Do you want an address or
what? Well, you can pick either by area or address.
Okay, so let's do an address.
Okay.
2322.
Actually, why don't you do the area first? So we can show a couple.
Well, it's LA. It's LA.
Okay, so we'll say Los Angeles.
Unless you want to call it Silver Lake.
Oh, Silver Lake. Okay. Silver Lake, Los Angeles. Okay. Cool. So right off the bat, it's going to pull up that area. And then if you look right here, you'll see it's called a heat map and there's filters, right? So if you pull that drop down, there's some options: traditional cash on cash return, Airbnb cash on cash return, Airbnb rental income, traditional rental income by listing price, or occupancy rate. So I'm going to pick occupancy rate. And what that's going to do then is color code the map for what areas are hotter. So if you see here, it says, and it shows the color up top, lighter is at 17%, and the darkest is going to be at 98% occupancy. So you're going to try to be, you're going to look to hunt around I would say 70% to, obviously 100 would be ideal. But these all in Silver Lake look pretty good, right around the kind of 70 to 80% rate. And then you can do a couple of other things here. You can sort by cash on cash return, the cap rate, or if you're working for a budget. So cash on cash return is basically how much money you put in minus the operating expenses. And then take that away from the overall cost of the property. And so let's sort on the budget, and we're gonna say, actually, we can even do more filters here. There's minimum bed, minimum bath, year built, square footage, rental income, Airbnb rental income, single family, stuff like that. And then property status, for sale, sold, pending. So if you have the inside scoop on something that maybe isn't even listed, you can pull that up as well. Let's just say that Cindy's been searching in this area and she finds a property on here. We can actually type in the address of that property. So if you want to hit me with that address.
2322 Loma Vista Place.
2322 Loma Vista Place. All right. So now this is going to pull up the property page, and it actually is linked to the MLS, I believe. And then right off the bat, you're going to notice a little score here. And this is what MashVisor is kind of rating for that property. It shows the beds, the bath, the list price, square footage, and all of that, right? You can also download this. And then also, I forgot to show you guys on the other page, you can download all of those properties in that area and start pulling up comps. So we'll go back to that. But this will show you the cash flow, cash on cash percentage, the cap rate, and the 10-year balance. So what it's showing right now, it looks like, is for an Airbnb, you're looking at a rental income of $127 a night and a monthly of $38.08. And if you were to rent it traditionally, like a long-term rental, it's roughly the same. In fact, maybe a tiny bit more. And you would have a 95% chance of renting that versus 71% chance occupancy. There's going to show property characteristics, even the realtor who's listing it, and so on. Now, if you scroll down farther, you can change these things here. So like for your rental income, you could change that, and that would update the cap rate up top. If you know what your insurance is going to cost a month, your utilities, property management fees, property taxes, it's kind of figuring some of that stuff in for you as well. If you need to add a custom expense like new furniture, you can type that in, and that'll adjust the like here's furniture and appliances, total repair costs, inspections, and whatnot. So let's just say inspections cost $500, repairs, we're going to say this is a fixer-upper and it needs about $10,000.
Those monthly expenses, because like property tax is $191, nobody spends that.
I believe so. Yeah, we can adjust that. What would that normally be, you think?
Yeah, 1.25%, so $1,000.
For the year?
Not that much, but I'll calculate it, just carry on.
Okay, yeah. So let's say we need about $5,000 in furniture because costs have gone up in that area, as we all know. And then closing costs will keep. So this will then adjust up here again, and it's really going to help you break down what your total costs are going to be. So over here, sorry, I'm going to move a few things. You can compare properties side by side if you want. So if you want to add another one, and you can view the neighborhood analytics as well. So that's going to break down a little farther what studios are going for: 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and so on. Looks like we're hovering at about a 77% occupancy rate in the neighborhood. And this would be your adjusted rental income after all those costs have gone in. If you, like I was saying, here's that spreadsheet. If you want, there is an option to download this as well. I'm trying to find that.
Did it have a mortgage payment?
I believe if you go here and you do the mortgage calculator, which I'm looking for. Sorry, guys, I'm still.
No worries, you're new to this as well.
Let's go back.
We are learning along with you.
Yeah, there's a mortgage calculator basically, so that will
well, I think it's helpful information because as agents, we only know what the property is listed and sold. But this is good if you are looking to rent, or maybe if you have investment properties, or if you're trying to advise people on rent values.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So, oh, here we go. Let's figure out the sort by, and let's go. So there's a couple options on the sort by. You can sort by price, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, and so on. There's a MashVisor score that you can sort by, and that one's gonna list the highest scoring properties also, which is kind of cool. But let's go price low to high. Oh, I think I did high to low. Okay, there we go. Was this the one you were talking about, Cindy? Yeah. Okay. So if we click on that. Now I'm trying to figure out the mortgage calculator.
Where was the expense section again?
Expenses right here.
So property taxes are $833, so that's pretty way off.
Okay, so 833 divided by 12, you're
No,
looking.
that was the monthly.
Oh, 833 per month?
Mhm.
Wow, okay. Let's say cleaning fees are gonna be about 400. And then
I guess you have to factor the mortgage in yourself.
I just saw, oh, here we go, cash versus mortgage. There we go. So you click that little button for the mortgage calculator. So do you know what the price is gonna be?
Yeah. Just call it 700 for purposes of.
Okay, so we'll keep that 695. Okay, and then how much down?
Let's do 20%.
Okay, so we're gonna say 20% down. Fixed rate,
Now,
adjustable,
these days,
30-year.
yeah.
Okay, and the interest rate?
Let's do 5.5.
All right, and the loan ARM type,
7.
7-1, and the rate there?
Yes, the 5.5.
5.5. Okay, so that should update things here for us. I think. Okay. There we go. So your rental income minus expenses, cash flow, cash on cash, and cap rate.
Okay.
So the 10-year payback, you're gonna owe $575.60. Did you all catch that?
It's good.
So that's how it's done. I mean, you can literally type in an address anywhere. I did want to try to show you how to download the spreadsheet for an area, because then what I would do from here is I would, here's Airbnb, and then here's traditional. But I would start downloading the spreadsheet and then pulling up all the comps in that area. So if we know it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, they're gonna have a spreadsheet that you can look at, and it'll show what that 2-bedroom, 2-bath, what rented for per night on average, and what the monthly income was, and so on. But honestly, if you already know what the houses that you're looking at, I would actually go on Airbnb then and try to find 2-bedroom, 2-baths in the neighborhood that are for rent on Airbnb, and try to pull up comps that way, because you'll be able to look at the pictures of that place and see if it's comparable in looks and kind of value of the house you're shopping for. So just like any realtor would, you're basically shopping comps based off of area and square footage and so on, and the looks on the inside. So that's kind of the breakdown. Do you guys have any questions?
No, this is very good. I think that's another avenue in real estate that we can go. Maybe because of the situation, what's happening in terms of the market condition, we can look for rentals instead of selling, or maybe that would be another avenue that makes me think a little bit more about rental.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I think both of these, AirDNA and Mashvisor, they've been scraping data for a while from Airbnb. And the big thing is they have AI built into it now. So it can tell when an owner of an Airbnb property has blocked off time. And even though it shows like it's a rental, the AI built in will recognize that it was an owner block off, and it won't count it as occupancy. And I think AirDNA and Mashvisor are both saying their data is like 98% accurate on that. So you can really trust the occupancy rate percentage based off of that, which is probably the biggest insecurity in all of this, is you just don't know if your place is going to rent or not. So I would always advise to maybe gauge at least the first year. If it says that it's 75% occupancy, count on 65%, especially when you're starting out, because you have to build good reviews. Unless you're in just an extremely hot market or area.
Right.
So I have a couple of questions. First of all, these dots, are those all active listings?
Those
right
are,
now?
yeah, those are all active.
So if you were looking for an investment property, you could go in here.
Oh, I'm sorry, those are active Airbnbs.
Got it.
So this would be, if you sort by investment, these are the active properties.
Okay, so those are properties that are for sale in that area.
Yeah,
That you could look at as potential investment.
exactly.
Okay, and the other is, if you were looking to, if you weren't sure whether you're gonna go long-term or short-term, this gives you stats for both.
It does, yeah. So, yeah, the question was, this gives you stats for both long-term rental or short-term. And it looks like the house Cindy was looking at, showed that long-term rental, she might even make more money off of.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that was kind of it, just kind of showing you around the app. It's something you probably want to play around with, and there are tutorials. But just another great tool for realtors, if you have clients who are looking for something that, you know, maybe they only want to live in it half the year. You could pull up the data for them and say, hey, this is what it would rent out for if you're only going to live in it 6 months out of the year, in case you consider Airbnb-ing it, stuff like that. So,
Excellent.
all right. Happy hunting.
All right.
Thank you. I will. Thank you so much. Are you going up for playing on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for playing on Sunday.
A basketball tournament. with the guys.
Yes. Did you join the group?
I want to. I play basketball for a long time at home, at school, everywhere. But unfortunately, I don't know. I have to check my schedule before I can come on Sundays. But it's going to be every Sunday about 8:30, right?
Yeah, exactly. At Deer Hill for now. We may change the park depending on how many guys show up. If we get enough guys, we can pick a park that's a little closer, because this one's in Oak Park. But yeah, we'd love to see you, Joseph.
Okay, I like to play with you guys too. So I
Yeah.
have to figure out my schedule. Thank you,
Awesome.
Andrew.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye, you too.
All right. Yeah.